Let me quickly ask Mr. Akabueze, what he makes of this, this oversight that must be completed before you now look at the 2018 budget. How are you reacting to that?
Well, my point is, over several years now, we've gotten ourselves as a country into a situation where our fiscal year has become unpredictable. The Constitution says we have a January to December fiscal year. It, of course, also gives the National Assembly the hours to be able to prescribe a different, so they can, follow the process, and tomorrow say the fiscal year is now going to be April to March. But the point is, whatever it is at any point in time, okay, it's good financial management practice that you follow and comply with it. So, given how things have worked for several years, in any year where we seek to regularize, there are going to be some transition rules. So, for instance, the challenge of people not being able to fully utilize funds that have been released under the 2017 budget before 2018. You can set up rules, some transition rules to address that. But unless we never plan to normalize the fiscal year, in any year where you do so, you will have to face this. So we thought there's fix it this year, set up those transition arrangements, and thereafter get back to a normal cycle.
So is that a situation? Do you have a situation where the National Assembly is not looking at normalizing? Because according to Mr. Akabueze, you will always have that rollover where, we will have planned, especially if the budget is passed late and you want to regularize in another year, you will always have that rollover. How is National Assembly planning to accommodate that rollover or, regularize with this challenge that we currently face?
If you read between the lines of what the DJ said, it requires a partnership between the executive and the legislature. Nobody can act independent of the other. We are willing. We are team players. But in National Assembly, it's about consensus building. If you look at this legislation, the 8th Assembly, we've always want to work with the executive to make sure that we deliver the dividends to the citizens. So what he said is a very clear solution to the problem. Developing a very clear program, a transitional program, for us to make sure that we harmonize. Don't forget the fact that the political calendar is also affecting what we are doing. The government comes in place in May. Like 2015, when this executive came in, they inherited the budget and it was halfway. Do you understand? So it makes it look as if to say that the budget tends to always end before mid-year. But whatever it is, if we are trying to comply with January to December, there must be a transitional period. And these are things we need to look at.
Yeah, but there are also questions to ask as to whether or not this budget has been prioritized. Between between November and December, our correspondents did report that we saw quite a number of activities in the National Assembly concerning the 2018 budget. There were lots of sit-ins, there were even extra time. In January this year, members of the National Assembly, even though they were on recess, they were actually doing some committee work on the budget. But now that plenary is in session, we've seen that there's been the 2018 budget has taken the back seat.
It never did. If you have been observant, look at the sitting. You see that we barely have more than 1/3 of the population making up forming up quorum. Others are busy going to different places, oversighting, all the all the corners of the country, different places, call agencies of government. They will tell you, all the government institutions, MDAs.
When is the National Assembly hoping that they can pass this budget?
Yeah, for me, I'm in appropriation. I'm waiting for the standing committees, who are the appropriation committees, for them to submit their reports. As of today, even the Speaker of the House, last 2 weeks, told them that, oh, please, try to round up and submit your reports. That is, there's a deadline. You see, it's not from leadership.
What is the deadline?
No, he gave deadline. But the first one was on the 15th of February. Do you understand? You can see the leadership is trying to, but there's a limit to what they can do because they're all their colleagues. And somebody who will be doing an assignment is telling, oh, sorry, I've not finished. I need more time to finish what I'm going to do so that I'll bring out what we represent, what we stood for, or what we stand for. as a parliament. So if you give somebody
if the
assignment,
earlier deadline was 15th of February and we're already at the 7th of March is today, that is more than 3 weeks after the deadline was given.
the volume of job.
Are you looking at a scenario, the volume of job, but for God's sake, it's 5 months already. How long is the National Assembly hoping to scrutinize the 2018 budget? How much time do they think that they have?
I told you what have caused the delay. The scrutiny wouldn't have been an issue, but the release at the time funds came in to fund 2017 capital appropriation.
So we should blame the executive
no,
now
you're not blaming.
for getting money for the 2017 budget?
Blaming them for what?
For bringing money for
No, they brought the money, but did you see that if money have gone, the parliament have to oversight and ensure that the money is appropriately used and to the level so that they will help them to understand how much more money that is needed to complete so that they will make excess provision.
Can we typically ask how much time would the National Assembly need to pass a budget?
Very soon.
No. How much time would typically? I mean, assuming you're to, if you say, okay, submit your budget by June, July, we want to see the budget so that you can be passed. How much time do they need? 6 months, 9 months?
Did I tell you?
Yes, 4 months.
I just came out from the US. I can tell you that typically, if it is US Congress, they use between 5 to 6 months to pass an amount.
If it is US, I mean, interestingly, we're not in the US.
So we're in Nigeria.
So this is the Nigerian budget. Okay. Will the National Assembly here need more time or less time?
We need more time.
So how much time are we looking at?
If you're looking at between 4 and 5 months, we'll be able to make sure that we scrutinize, do everything, and also that is.
So if you say 4 and 5 months, it was submitted in November. I think in the first week of November, December, January, February. This is already March. This is already 5 months. So when do you think it will be passed?
Very soon. I'm telling you, the work is ongoing.
Honourable Member, I think what's a bit worrying probably to our viewers is if you're saying that the principal officers of the National Assembly have committed to do a particular thing, and you as a leading member of the House Committee on Appropriation is saying that it takes 5 months to do it, it leads some to believe that, look, why are people intentionally giving false promises? On one hand, you're saying this is what it takes.
The leadership did not give false promises.
Your bosses are saying something different.
No, I told you what shifted the goalpost now is at the point in time money was released and implementation started. They need to ascertain the conditions were not the same at the point in time. I'm telling you this. In every honesty, DG budget is here. If you can't release money after 1 month, you wipe out and we need to be sure of how much that is needed. I said, take for instance a project that has 100 naira, and by January, February, 50 naira was released, and in the provision in the proposal, there's still 100 naira needed to do the job. Do you want us to pass 100 naira or to ascertain how much? Is it 30 naira or 20 naira or 40 naira that has been utilized out of the 15 naira, so that we can readily say you need 60 naira more to do this?